So once we've installed the base OS on our physical server, this is my base operating system, I am ready to start creating virtual machines. Now, I've already installed HyperV. You can see that the role is installed here. It's also noted here under role section on the dashboard. So what that means is I can come over here to Tools, and I will find the HyperV Manager. So I'm going to open up HyperV. Now, I find this to be I wish they would put this in the order that you need to connect things. So what I need to do is I need to create a virtual switch, essentially a connection that will connect a virtual machine either to the base OS, virtual machines to other virtual machines, etc. So I'll click in here and I'm going to create a new virtual machine. Now, I want to quickly go through what these different switch types are. So we'll start with external. Okay, so a little bit of information I found in a blog. I want to give credit to that. I think they do a great job of explaining the difference. So this is Eric Siren's blog on Hyper-V Virtual Switch Explained. So an external switch, Eric explains it as, great name by the way, this switch type must be connected to a physical adapter. It allows communications between the physical network and the management operating system and virtual machines. So the physical network being that physical switch on the physical NIC on the back of your physical switch. So it will be able to connect your virtual machines out to that physical network. Hopefully that makes sense. An internal switch is similar to the private switch, which we'll talk about in a second, with one exception. The management operating system can have a virtual adapter on this type of switch and communicate with any virtual machines that also have virtual adapters on the switch. So this switch also does not have any matching to a physical adapter, unlike the external switch, and therefore also connect uplink to another switch. So the type I would suggest so basically what they're saying there is that internal switch is going to allow the base operating system, that physical machine, to communicate with the virtual machines. The final type is a private switch. The private switch allows communications among the virtual machines on the host and nothing else. So between the virtual machines on the host, not with the host. Even the management operating system is not allowed to participate. So what are we creating? We're creating a private network where only the virtual machines that we create on the base OS will be able to communicate with each other. This is the type that I recommend that you create. So I'm going to select private switch and say create virtual switch. Now, I like to give it a good switch name. In VMware, we're defaulted to those silly names. There's no real way to do notes. This works out better for me. So since my team is corporate.team07.com, I'm going to make this that switch. Okay, so it's going to be the corporate.team7.com switch. It's going to allow, it's private, it's going to allow traffic between the virtual machines. Here I'd put a note. This is the primary virtual switch, WSWITCH, for all my virtual machines to communicate with each other, but not with the host, or as I like to call it, the base operating system, nor can it communicate with the physical NIC network. So hopefully that makes sense. Network. There we go. Do you want a connection to switch to? No, because it's a private, right? I don't need a VLAN, so I'll just say apply. And if you notice, there's my switch. This is the switch that I'm going to associate with all the virtual machines. So hopefully this helps you to understand the Hyper-V switches and get you ready for the next step in creating your lab network. Take care.